22nd of September, Monday. First thing I did in the morning was wake up and make my bed. Then I drank a lot of water and went on my morning run.
So it's 8:45 a.m. and unlike when I run at 9:15 a.m., it's fucking cold. Like it's starting to get cold. That's crazy.
After my morning run, I took my daily cold shower and went by bus to Madrid, to the city, my university, to take an exam.
After the exam, I came back home and I completely forgot that I have to record everything that I do in my life in order to keep this series running. But the only thing I did was come back home, and then I was 1 hour helping my friend because he asked me for advice through text. Then I ate some broccoli and some leftovers from the barbecue, and then I rested on the couch. And the thing that my friend asked me advice about, it came out to be really good life advice in general. Different theories that I have had about self-improvement, about life in general, all of them came together into a big theory that I'm going to explain right now. Number one, this is advice that I took from Jordan Peterson. You do not decide whether you're born or not, but you do decide who you're going to become, or in other words, aka, you decide if you want to achieve your purpose in life. So what I'm trying to say here, and this is a paraphrasing from Jordan Peterson, is that even though you do not decide whether you're born or not, every single day that passes, every single second that passes, you have the choice to get closer to your ultimate purpose in life or to go further away from it. And this is very important, because if you have no say in whether you are born or not, but you do have a say in this, in whether you achieve your purpose or not, why not try to achieve the best version of yourself? Why not try to accomplish your purpose? And why not try to be the best that you can? Think of it more or less as a video game. You are forced to play this video game that is called life. And if you're going to be forced to play that video game, why not win? Why shouldn't you try to go for all of the achievements? Why shouldn't you try to hit all of the goals? If you're forced, why not do it? Every single second that passes, you are forced into this game. Might as well just go to try to achieve the goals. In this video game called life, you either go up or down. You either get closer to your purpose or you go downwards. In life, every single second that passes, this is always happening. There is no such thing as stagnation in life. Why isn't there a life that is just simply a straight line like this? Why does it have to have bumps? Because when you're doing nothing in life, everything pulls you down. For example, if you're sitting on the couch watching TikToks, that is doing nothing, but you are going downwards, clearly. In general, if you're not doing nothing, you are going down in life. There is no such thing as stagnation. There is no such thing as a straight line. You are always going upwards or downwards. Third key concept. So this is the game of life, and this is your lifetime. So let's say a normal life, someone that is trying to achieve his purpose and trying to become his best self, is going to have a life like this. This is the average life of a person that is on self-improvement. But the interesting thing is that in the game of life, you can play either hard mode or easy mode. This is hard mode. Now, a person on self-improvement, usually he has a purpose, he's going for the purpose. The purpose needs to be divided in goals, in measurable goals, and he goes for those goals with pure hard work. Now, I was thinking, if that is the average life of a person on self-improvement, there must be some things that a person can do throughout his life that make his life easier. And one of the things that makes your life easier is changing your environment. And that is the fourth piece of the puzzle, which is change of environment. Environment. So what I have done is just erase everything and make the 4 points, the 4 bullet points smaller, so I have more space. So in the game of life, which you are forced to play because you don't get to choose your birth, you can choose to achieve your purpose, or you can choose to go otherwise. And there is no such thing as stagnation. And this is the average life of a person on self-improvement. A person on self-improvement needs a purpose to pursue, needs measurable goals, okay, that are going to help him get to the purpose, and needs to work hard in order to achieve those goals. That is the average life for personal improvement. And that person is playing the game of life on hard mode. And I'm going to explain why. A person that is playing on easy mode, apart from these 3 factors, he has one added factor. He changes his environment. And once again, we have to address the question of why changing your environment makes it easier to play at the game of life. In order to explain why changes in your environment make your life easier, I have to give you an example so you can understand. Let's say you are a geek or a nerd throughout most of your school life, okay? And then you become an adult. And then you want to be a person that is on self-improvement. And the person that is on self-improvement cannot completely forget the fact that he was a geek or a nerd. It's impossible to alter the past. It's impossible to go backwards and make yourself a Chad. The only thing you can do is change and go forwards. You have a memory of yourself being in your room, just being lazy, playing video games, watching anime like 10 hours a day, or watching 8 hours a day of YouTube, whatever it is that you did. But the most of the time, you can remember that as a kid, you were not disciplined, and you didn't work hard, and you weren't consistent. And that is basically impossible to forget and impossible to alter. And unconsciously, and this is very important, you associate the past to certain places and people. And it is impossible to separate the past from the places that you were at or the people that you were with. So if you were a geek or a nerd in the past, you have a certain association to places and people. So therefore, you have associated the past with a certain environment. Because things happened in that environment, this affects you negatively. So let's say I'm associating the environment of my room to the past in which I was a geek. Being in that environment, you get affected negatively. Whenever you go back into that childhood room, you remember the past. And it's very easy out of habit to do the things that you used to do in that room because you have an association. So even if you are a disciplined and hardworking person and you are consistent, it is still very, very hard, since it's unconscious, to get out of the bad habits if you are in the same environment. Another example from my life, I have a group of people that the only thing that I have done in the past with them is go party and go drink. That is my past environment with those people. So whenever you are together with those people, out of habit, it is very, very hard, even though you are a person that is on self-improvement, to not drink and not go party. If you change your environment and you change your friends, what you're effectively doing is that you're not going down. You don't let your environment drag you down in your progress towards your purpose.
After that explanation about my theory on life, which I don't know if it was even clear or it was useful, but I wanted to share it. I watched a movie that I liked quite a lot that was Children of Men, and then I did my workout, which was chest and triceps. As always, bench press, dumbbell flies, overhead dumbbell press, and diamond push-ups to failure. Then I had dinner, rested a little bit on the couch, and did my night routine, which as always is brushing my teeth and journaling and writing down 3 things that I was grateful for that day. September 23rd, Tuesday. First thing I did in the morning was, as always, make my bed, get some sunlight in my eyes, and drink a big glass of water. Then I went on my daily morning run and took my daily cold shower. So usually in the mornings I have protein with coffee, but today there is Coke, so I'm just gonna have a little bit of Coca-Cola, which has caffeine in it, and a protein shake. Then I continued to eat 1984 while drinking my protein shake. After reading, what I did was listen to the podcast of the debate between Louise Perry and Bonnie Blue, hosted on Modern Wisdom. And now I'm gonna edit until it is lunchtime. After editing a little bit, I had food with my family, a home-cooked meal by my mom, very delicious, tempura, and karaage, which is fried chicken. And after eating, instead of resting in the couch, which is what I usually do, I continued to edit.
So I am heading to the library right now because even though I had the exam of the last subject of uni yesterday, I still have to do the research paper. And I have to finish it by the end of October. So that's what I'm going to be doing in the library.
So the truth is, I arrived at the library. The first 30 minutes that I was here, I was sat in the car watching YouTube. And then I went inside and I started playing a video game for like an hour or so. I usually go to the library without headphones, so I cannot consume content or play video games, because you cannot listen to it and there's no volume, and video games without sound and content without sound just doesn't make sense to consume. But the problem is, even though I do go to a library without headphones, I sit at the very far end where nobody can hear me, and I put the volume at the minimum so I can consume content and play video games, even if I can only hear a little bit, a fraction of what I would play the volume at home. So the strategy is, the next time that I go to a library, I'm going to sit closer to people, so I force myself to not consume content or play video games because I can't listen to it. That is the strategy that I'm going to go for next time. After I came back home, I completely forgot to record dinner. I rested on the couch and I did my night routine and went to bed. September 24th, Wednesday. First thing I did in the morning was wake up, make my bed, get some sunlight in my eyes, and drink a lot of water. I woke up at 10 a.m. and I was in bed till 11 a.m.
So it's 1 p.m. And I was just playing a video game called Thronefall for the last 2 hours instead of going on my run. At least I'm doing it now.
After my run, I took my daily cold shower, ate some leftovers that we had at home, and rested on the couch watching some videos till I waited to leave.
Today so far has not been a productive day. At least I ran, but I didn't read, which is pretty bad. And right now I'm gonna meet up with a friend.
I met up with my friend and we went to a climbing gym to do some climbing, and Since they had a pull-up bar and some weights, I also did my back and biceps workout. After that, we took a stroll around a nearby park and talked about life and about many things, which is when I came back home and I ate dinner, did my night routine, brushing my teeth and journaling, and I went to bed. September 25th, Thursday. I woke up and I basically did my standard morning routine, which consists of making my bed, getting some sunlight in my eyes while drinking a lot of water, going on my daily morning run, taking my daily cold shower, making myself a protein shake with coffee, read one chapter of the book that I'm reading, which in this case was 1984, and eating. In this case, I had to cook for myself because I wanted to go early to the library, so I made myself a big, fat piece of meat and also had some leftovers that were lying around the house, and I headed to the library. So I'm heading right now to the library. It's quite early. It's 1:30 p.m. I'm gonna put some gas in the car, and then I'm gonna do the research paper. And unlike the other day that I was playing video games instead of doing the research paper, I am going to sit closer to people so I cannot allow myself to consume content or play video games in the library. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and that's what you'll see. I did more or less like 4 hours worth of work on the research paper, which was really productive. I am literally gonna stress eat right now because I had a discussion with a friend. It generated me a lot of stress and anxiety. And I feel like eating a bunch of fucking sugar and chocolate and whatever there is about junk food in the house. Holy shit, that was an intense conversation. Like, it was brutal. After eating a bunch of junk food instead of eating a proper dinner, I proceeded to watch a few videos so I wouldn't think about the discussion, and I went to bed straight out without doing my night routine, which I was supposed to do. September 26th. Friday. I woke up and I made my bed, and while I was taking some sunlight in my eyes and drinking water, I explained what was the conclusion that I got to after the discussion that I had the day before. And literally the conclusion that I got to yesterday overthinking last night without being able to sleep was that to me it's not worth it. All of the time, mental effort, insults, all of that is not worth it, is not fucking worth it, just because we have two fundamental views on life that are very different. After that, I went on my daily morning run, took my daily cold shower, made myself my protein shake with coffee, and read one chapter of 1984. Then I did my workout early on the day because later I was gonna have to do something. So I did shoulders by doing lateral raises and shoulder press. Then I trained neck and traps at the same time. Then I trained abs, and then I went to my sister's graduation, which I am very proud of her. She graduated in physics. As a brother, I couldn't be more proud of her. Then me and my parents went to dinner to celebrate something that I'm gonna explain the day after. Then I came back, did my night routine, brushing my teeth and journaling, and went to sleep. September 27th, Saturday. I woke up at 10:45 a.m. But I don't feel guilty at all because I passed my last subject of uni. Let's go. It was a subject that was haunting me for the last 3 years because I wasn't able to pass it, and I finally passed it. And that means that if I present my research paper by the end of October, I officially have finished my university degree. That's what we were doing yesterday at the restaurant. We were celebrating both my finishing of university and the graduation of my sister. I went on my morning run, then I took my daily cold shower, then I made myself a protein shake, and I drank it while I read one chapter of 1984. After reading, I ate with my family, watched one chapter of anime, and then I proceeded to edit this video that you're watching right now all evening. The last part of the day, instead of editing, because I had done already quite a bit, I decided that I was going to start watching one lecture a week of Maps of Meaning by Jordan Peterson. Very big commitment, but I am going to follow it as a 12-week program. After that, I did my night routine, which is, as always, just brushing my teeth, journaling, and I went to sleep. September 28th, Sunday. I woke up quite late once again, which I am not proud of. I made my bed, then I went upstairs, and it was my parents' birthday. Both of them were born on the same day. So I ate a bunch of junk food. I went for my late morning run, and then I decided I was gonna train legs. Unfortunately, I have to cut the workout short. I might continue later at night. I don't know, but I have to cut it short because my family wants to play the board game right now. As a family, to celebrate my parents' birthday, we played a board game. After the board game, I rested on the couch for a while, and right now I'm doing the voiceovers and editing the video. And that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna edit the video, make the thumbnail, upload the video. The last part of the day is not going to be included because otherwise I cannot upload it in time. So see you guys next week, I guess.